We've all finished the knit along at this stage now, and we're on to the fun finishing part where we get to add a fringe. Now remember, the fringe is completely optional, so if you decide that I don't really like fringes, I'm leaving it out, all you're going to do then is all of these ends that you've got hanging out here, weave them in and just go ahead and block your shawl. Otherwise, if you want to go add a fringe, I'll show you how to go about doing it, but remember that, you know, the length of the fringe, the spacing of it, the amount of yarn you use in each section, that's completely personal taste. So just vary that according to the amount of yarn you've got and what you like the look of. And remember with this, because you're looping it through the edge, if you get in a place you don't like or you want to readjust the positioning, pull it out and reattach. There's nothing permanent about a fringe. The only thing that's permanent is the length that you've made, but if you've got more yarn, then that's easy to actually go and change. So the tools you're going to need for this are your leftover yarn, strip of cardboard that you'll cut to the depth that you want the fringe. So in this particular case, it's 4 inches long, so it'll mean that the fringe will hang off 4 inches. And a scissors, and if I've got, here we go, and a crochet hook. Again, it doesn't really matter what size, just a crochet hook is all you need. With the leftover yarn, to make sure that I had kind of equal amounts of yarn for each side, I went ahead and divided with using a weighing scales the leftover yarn of each color. So I made a little pile for each side. So I'll put this aside and I'm going to keep this for this side. You can see here I left all of my yarn tails out, and the reason for that is they can be incorporated into the fringe, which means that it's, you know, one less set of finishing to do, which I'm totally in favor of. Now I'm going to space mine probably about every inch or inch and a half, but as I said, that's personal taste. If you don't think you've got enough yarn, maybe you go to every 3 inches or every 2 inches. And if you find you've got tons left over, then you can go ahead and, you know, add in the extra spaces in between. I'm going to take, I think to start with, see how it looks, 3 strands of different colors, and I'm going to make it 3 strands that will come through. You can make them as long or as many as you want. So I'm going to go with this. I'm going to take Late Night Blues, one of this, and I'm going to, you can see you can even use up the little straggly bits that you messed up along the way. In this case, it was something that was ripped. So I'm going to take the 3 of them here. And because I want to make it 3 strands, I'm going to only have to wrap it around once because I'm doing it in one shot. So in that case, I'm going to just go as far as here. And that's going to be the length I want. So you take that off. I'm going to move all these to the side so you can actually see what I'm doing. So divide that in half. Now we're going to take this and pull it through. This is another thing that it doesn't really matter which way you do it once you do it consistently. So when you pull it through, you can either pull it from this side back or the other side forward. I'm going to go from the back forward. So in this case, I'm going to start actually right down at the tip here, right along the edge. We're just going to go just 1 stitch in from the edge. You can use where you've done your slip stitches is a nice place to do it. So stick this through, grab that loops of 3 yarns here, pull it through just like that, and then I'm going to loop through these just like that, and just snug it up gently. And there you go. You can see these are a little uneven to start with. You can actually trim as you go if you want to. I'm more inclined to kind of leave them as they are, and then as I finish, I can come back and trim them up. So you can see you can make that any length you want. You can space it any, however often you want to space it, and you can put as many strands as you want to in there. So feel free to play around with it, and remember, it's really easy to come back and correct afterwards.